So next, I would like to introduce Joe Merrill, Administrative Manager in the Graduate School, Rick Grunwald, Michelle Pingree from Student Financial Services, who will talk about financial aid and scholarships.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to start out with, I'm not Rita Whitcomb. I'm not the area finance officer, so I'm just going to stumble my way through this with you guys. We're going to talk about assistantships, financial aid, and payroll services. First of all, who all here is on an assistantship? If you could raise your hand. Quite a few, Rick. So we're going to talk about the benefits of your assistantship, what you need to do for your assistantship, where to look for assistantships, so those of you who did not raise your hand, payroll deduction, payroll direct deposit, and financial aid, and then we'll have questions. So the benefits of an assistantship are you get paid, which is great. We pay twice a month at WSU, paid on the 10th and 25th of each month, and you'll see the stipends amounts up there. We have certain stipend steps for each individual degree, or so PhD and master's, there's different steps, recommended steps. We have a tuition waiver amount, which is $5,445 per semester, an out-of-state waiver, which is $6,716 per semester. And one of the important things that I want to highlight here is you have a 1-year limit to establish residency. If you have questions about residency, please feel free to contact the graduate school. Your assistantship also has health insurance and dental insurance, and we offer payroll deduction. So what you need to do to actually get your assistantship going. First of all, this is very important. How many of you with assistantships have enrolled in 10 to 18 credits? That's good. How many have not? Okay, you need to do that immediately because that's what drives your assistantship. Unless you're enrolled, we're not going to get you into the system and we can't pay you. You also need to complete your responsible conduct research conduct training. That's online at the graduate school's webpage. You have to maintain a GPA of 3.0, and you must reside in the state of Washington. To establish Washington residency, you're going to have to anyways. Please update your local mailing address on MyWSU and remain enrolled in 10 to 18 credits. I can't tell you how important that is. Every day we get a download of students and their assistantships, and we probably can't process 50% of them because students aren't enrolled. So it just holds up your assistantship and it holds up your pay. Another thing you need to do is you need to complete your I-9 by August 16th, and your departments actually do that for you. You'll go see your department coordinator and they'll work with you on this. Your W-4, you'll find this at the payroll website. You're responsible to submit that. For an assistantship, we have an average work requirement of 20 hours a week. You must comply with assigned duties and continued academic progress. If you don't see your assistantship or your tuition waiver posted on your account by September 8th, contact your department because something is wrong and we need to fix it. You know, if you're not enrolled or there's just something wrong, so please contact your department by the 8th if you're not seeing that on there. These are our fees and tuition costs for Pullman. One of the big things about this is, if you notice, all the fees come down. We actually have assistantships, reduction of tuition, qualified tuition waiver, operating fee waiver. So basically, you're responsible for $931.74 if you're on an assistantship. Tuition is due the first day of classes, and you have to pay your portion of tuition or sign up for payroll deduction, which Rick will talk about here in a minute. Here's some important dates for everyone. You have to report to your first day of your assistantship on 8/16. August 16th is the first day, even though classes don't start until the following Monday. Waivers will begin to post to your student account on the 19th, so this Friday, and we'll hear from financial aid about the posting of financial aid on. It actually will show up today, but I don't believe it posts until Friday. August 22nd is first day of classes. And if your waiver is not posted, like I said previously, contact your department. Especially, you'll see it out there. Go out and check your student account. And September 5th is the last day to sign up for payroll. Our first late fee goes on September 6th, so make sure you pay the fees, because if you don't, you will get a late fee and then you'll have to pay it. Other funding opportunities. For those of you who did not raise your hand, who don't have an assistantship, check Friday Focus weekly, because we advertise assistantships there. Our Facebook page, our website, scholarships submitted to the graduate school. We have a scholarship program. Those scholarships are actually on our website. They're actually nominated by your college, so check with your college about some scholarships. The HR website has great information about student jobs. Check with your faculty or your grad coordinator. They're a wealth of information, and they have their finger on the pulse what's happening in your department. There may be an assistantship that a student didn't take or couldn't take, and that could be an assistantship for one of you guys. And then Hannah Murley is going to speak later, and she's great with OGRD and helping students get grant funding. And I'm going to have Rick come up and talk about payroll next. If I can get his that's a good question. Presentation in here. It's on the back.
Because I didn't have it on time. Sorry about that.
And if you guys have any questions, please contact the graduate school. We're always there to help you and help you with any questions you might have. Is that the one, right? And here's Rick from Payroll.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rick Grunwald from Payroll Services, and Payroll Services welcomes you to WSU and to Pullman. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Has this been a fun morning? Well, now that we're talking about payroll, I'm sure it'll be fun. But we are located second floor French Ad, room 236. And if you ever want to email us, it's easy, payroll@wsu.edu. So feel free, if you have questions about payroll, you can either email us or call us at 335-9575. I put my name down here. I'm the Associate Director in charge of payroll. And I've also put Vanessa Hatch, who is and becoming the expert on direct deposit and payroll deduction. So she's also a contact for you for those items, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's talk about pay dates. Payroll checks are distributed on the 10th and 25th. Joe already mentioned that. That's 10 days after the end of the pay period. So here's a test. Pay period is August 16th through 31st. So when's payday? Well, it should be the 10th, right? But it's the 9th, because if the 10th if the payday falls on a Saturday, it's the day before, unless it's a holiday the day before. If the payday falls on a Sunday, it's the day after. So in September, we have both of those things happening. So our first payday for your assistantship is the 9th of September, and then we'll talk about this, the first pay period, if you're taking a payroll deduction, that payroll deduction is taken, is not the first pay period, it's the second pay period, and that's the September 26th payday. If you can go to this site, you go to Payroll Services Student Pay Information, you can click there, it has some information there. It has information we're talking about this morning, you can check that out. So let's talk about payroll deduction for grad fees. Those of you that raised your hand as an assistantship, that you're on an assistantship, you can have your payroll or your residual tuition, that's after your waiver, and your mandatory fees if you're a Pullman graduate student. You can have that payroll deducted over 8 pay cycles starting on September 26th. Is that the first pay period? No, it's the second pay period. I often get calls, how come my payroll deduction wasn't taken? That's because it doesn't start till the second pay period. So it starts on September 26th. There is an $8 fee for the semester if you want to take advantage of the payroll deduction. You can apply for the payroll deduction by September 5th, which is, I think that's Labor Day, but you can do it online. And why September 5th? Because September 6th is the last day that you can pay your fees without a late fee. So we want you to get that information to us in time for us to get it processed and posted so that you're not assessed a late fee on the evening of the 6th. Apply for your payroll deduction at MyWSU, and we have if you go to our payroll website, there is a tutorial that you can click, and it's a video that takes you through how to do it. But it's pretty easy. Go to MyWSU, go to main menu, click on main menu, click on HR payroll benefits, then click on payroll information, and then grad payroll deduction. How many people have already signed up? We've got some people signed up already for payroll deduction. Not enough hands. Okay, anyway. You can save $8 if you just pay your fees up front, so I mean, that's good. But what was I going to say? You can sign up for a payroll deduction. It used to be that you'd have to come to payroll services window and sign up on a manual form, but you can do it online. You can also sign up for both semesters if you want. You can, if you're on an assistantship that carries through into the spring, you can sign up now for both semesters if you want. That's a choice that you make at MyWSU when you're filling out your authorization. So it's a great program. I think we had probably 800, 900 people, maybe 1,000, I don't know, sign up last semester for the payroll deduction. The other thing I want to talk about is direct deposit, because we have checks often that are lost in the mail. We had a situation last year, I think it was around Christmas, where the paychecks went to Spokane, and there was a flood in the post office up there. Checks were delayed. That's a pain, because if you don't get your check on payday, that's not fun, is it? And it takes a while to get a replacement check. You have to come in, you have to wait a certain amount of time to make sure the check doesn't arrive. Then you have to fill out an affidavit that haven't got the payroll check. Then you have to wait a couple more days. So payroll direct deposit is the way to go. It's free, it's convenient and efficient. I've been an employee at WSU for 3 decades or so, and it's never failed. So yesterday, just an interesting fact, we got a check back in the mail. It said, unable to forward. And we looked at the check date, 2004. So we were laughing at that. That took a while. Where was that for 12 years or whatever? Anyway, sign up for direct deposit. The way you do it is you complete a direct deposit authorization card at Payroll Services. You can also print one off our website. Here's the web address. But we also need a voided check, a pre-printed deposit ticket, or either the top of your bank statement that shows your full account number and the routing number. So make sure that's all there. When you fill out the direct deposit card, please fill it out completely so that we don't have to call you back. So what we need is, I don't know all the things, but a couple of important things are your phone number, your ID number, be sure to put that on there, or your SOCH, but ID number works. And you can bring it to Payroll Services, you can mail it to us, you can fax it to us, and you can scan it and email it to us. So please do that, and do it 10 days before the pay period that you want it to be effective. You can't bring it in the day before payday and hope that it'll be direct deposited. So again, we are located at 2nd floor, room 236 in French Ave. What's our email? payroll@wsu.edu. How easy is that? So I think that's it for me. Thank you, Joe, for setting me up there.
I don't know if Rick covered this, but Rick, I'm gonna put you on the spot. If payday falls on a Saturday or a Sunday, you will get, if it's Saturday, you get paid on the 9th. If it's Sunday, you get paid on the next day. So just FYI for everyone, because I know people ask a lot of questions about that. Just a sec. Is that you? Is that it?
Hello, I am not Michelle Pingree, but I am actually Maya Gillespie, and I'm a senior advisor in Student Financial Services, aka Financial Aid. And I actually handle the financial aid side for all of you wonderful people. So, how many people have filled out a FAFSA for 16-17? A decent amount? Okay, great. When you fill out a FAFSA, you are eligible for, as a graduate student, pretty much loans. There's going to be an unsubsidized federal direct loan up to $20,500 for you. Interest rate's pretty good on this. The other type of loan you're going to be offered as a grad student is going to be a grad plus loan. And this loan's going to vary a little bit. The unsubsidized loan, you're pretty much entitled to that as a grad student if you fill out the FAFSA. The grad plus loan is just, there's a quick little credit check by Department of Ed. If you're approved, great, you get those funds. And these loans can be used for any type of educational expenses or living expenses while you're here at WSU. Something else that you can be eligible for by filling out that FAFSA would be federal work study, and students can be eligible for up to $4,000. This would be accounted for in your financial aid package, and how that works is that you just get a regular paycheck like you would with your assistantship paycheck every 2 weeks through WSU. Here's a screenshot. This is the cost of attendance, also known as a budget. So when you're here at WSU, we're going to assume that all students are going to be budgeted as a resident of Washington. And so you can see that first line up there is going to be the tuition, fees. It has everything we account for. The solid number up there are going to be the tuition and the fees. Everything else is what we're going to just budget for and account for. So it's going to be an estimate of on-campus, off-campus living, that kind of thing, miscellaneous living expenses. I mean, we hope you're going to, buy shampoo and toiletries while you're here, and then transportation as well. So, and then if you're going to be taking less than that full-time 10 credits, there is a charge per credit, and that's listed there as well as the mandatory fee breakdown. So you should see all of these, the tuition charges and the mandatory fee charges on your student account already. If you do not, it most likely means you are not enrolled in classes yet or in that full amount of credits you're going to be taking. And if you, for some reason, don't see them and you are enrolled, you can always give our office a call and see what's going on with that. Here's some important dates. For those of you who did file a FAFSA, our dates are changing for next year. So instead of waiting until January to fill out the FAFSA, it's going to be available October 1st. We do also have a FAFSA priority deadline. Again, as graduate students, you're going to be getting loans, so the deadlines don't affect you as much, but just get that done as soon as possible. One less thing you have to worry about for the next academic year. As graduate students, you are also eligible for scholarships. Some people think that as a grad student you're not eligible, which of course we want to give money, to every student we can. So we would highly recommend filling out that scholarship application every year. It's due January 31st. Doesn't take too long, but it can definitely benefit you and get you some more free monies and reduce the amount of loans you have to take out. If you do get selected for what we call verification, if we're requesting some additional documents from you, the deadlines for that are going to change too. Since you guys will be continuing students next year, the deadline would be November 30th, and you can get those to our office any way possible besides email. And then everything's happening earlier. We're hoping to get financial aid packages to you guys earlier. That just helps students plan their next year. During the summer, what you're going to want to do is accept any loans that you have offered on your account. And then week before classes, like we said, like right now, a lot of students should see their assistantship accounted for in their financial aid package. And what that looks like is it's going to be a WSU department fee waiver placeholder. So we account for it in the financial aid package, and then University Receivables actually posts the tuition funds directly to your student account. So something that I think definitely applies to you guys as graduate students is going to be what we call an academic year revision request. We know especially as grad students, things are going to be a lot more expensive, and you have a lot of other needs or expenses in your life compared to undergraduate students. So we have a process for this. The academic year revision request is a form that you would complete on our website, and we have a team that does go ahead and review these and adjust things as needed. So by filling out this form, we essentially are going to increase that cost of attendance for you to account for other expenses that we haven't already accounted for. One of the things that as graduate students you might have is travel or transportation required by a program. So if there's a mandatory conference you have to go to, or mandatory meetings with different offices around the state or whatnot, that might be something we can account for and increase that cost of attendance. Childcare expenses, if you have dependents that are in childcare throughout the day, we can account for that for you. If you're a non-resident graduate student that does not have an assistantship, we would adjust your budget and then allow for another loan to get on there. Every time with these adjustments, it's mainly going to be a loan. If you have your assistantship on there, it's going to be, we're going to try to give you as much of that unsubsidized loan as possible. If we've already done that, we'll give you that Grad Plus. Then one of the last ones, I guess one-time computer purchase. If your computer dies, middle of fall semester, we can give you, I think it's up to about $2,000 now to get a new computer. So just fill out that form, we'll increase that cost of attendance, and again, it's through that loan. Something that we are doing differently this year is we have something called census date, which is the 10th day of classes. So if students are not enrolled at full time, so again, for you guys, that's at least 10 credits, your financial aid is going to be held up. If you are going to be taking, let's say, 8 credits for the full year, fall and spring, let us know, because if we can adjust that, and if we know that ahead of time, we can adjust things and allow your aid to disperse sooner than having to wait that 10 days. It just kind of makes things easier on you, easier on us, and everybody's happy in the end. Here is our contact information. For Pullman campus students, you can call us, email us, or even make an appointment and come see one of our advisors. We have appointments from, I think, 9 to 4 throughout the academic year. Right now, we're about 8 to 5. You can always give us a call. We do have great staff that's trained and ready to help you and answer any questions you have. You can also email us directly as well. And again, my name is Maya Gillespie, so if you guys have any questions you just want to work with me on about your assistantship waiver or whatnot, you can email me directly. And then the University Receivables Office, they're also University Receivables and Student Accounts. They handle the other side of the assistantship. So they're going to be handling the actual posting. So like I said, most of you should see that on your financial aid package. And then later this week, Thursday or Friday, you're going to see that actually apply to your student account. And so apply to that tuition. And if there's any other loans that have already gone through, it's going to be kind of a shifting of funds behind the scenes. So you guys don't really have to worry about it. We do all the work on that end. So there's our contact information too. If you have any questions about any fees on your account or the tuition waiver not being posted or whatnot, you can contact them. And that's it for me and financial aid. Thank you.